गुणवद्वस्तु संसर्गात् याति स्वल्पोऽपि गौरवम्. So இது வந்து குணவத்வஸ்து சம்சர்காத், by the association of a vastu which has more better quality. Swalpaha api, even a little thing, yati gauravam, it attains a great என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு ரெஸ்பெக்ட் ன்னு சொல்லலாமா?
Glory.
பூவோடு சேர்ந்து நாரும் மணக்கும், அதனுடைய இங்கிலீஷ் சாரி சம்ஸ்கிருதம் இது.
स्वयं अल्पीयान् अपि पदार्थः जीवः वा गुणवतः महिमोपेतस्य वस्तुनः संसर्गात् सम्बन्धवशात् गौरवं याति महत्त्वं प्राप्नोति इति अर्थः. This means that even though a small a vastu or a being, when associated with an object of great virtue, goes about to attain greatness or glory.
Okay, so padarthaha jivaha va. Padarthaha is vastu, either an object or a being, living being, any prani. Swayam alpiyanapi, even though of its own accord it is a very something of lesser greatness. Alpiyasana, it is actually iyasun pratyaya, where it is alpatara ityartha. So you have comparative and superlative. Yeah? So the comparative can be expressed with two pratyayas. One is tarap, the other is iyasun. The superlative can be expressed by either tamap or ishtan. So the common one is like shreyan, shreshtaha. Yeah, and the madri, this is alpiyan, alpishtaha. So swayam alpiyanapi, even though by itself, when you consider that object or that being, he is a very alpa person. He is a very normal or a small person. So gunavataha mahima upetasya vastunaha samsargat, which means gunavataha gunavan, a vastu gunavat vastu. So because it is an adjective to vastu, you take it as gunavad vastu. So gunavataha vastunaha samsargat, by samsarga, association of a vastu, an object which is got qualities, or mahima upetasya, which has more greatness than what it is. Sambandha vashat. What does samsargat mean? Sambandha vashat, equals podra. That is, it is the literal meaning for samsarga. Sambandha vashat. Because of that association, gauravam yati means mahatvam prapnoti. It attains a greatness.
गुणहीनम् अपि द्रव्यं गुणवतः द्रव्यस्य सम्बन्धेन महिमानं भजत इति निर्गलित अर्थः. An object without quality, by the association of an object with quality, attains greatness is the nirgalita artha. Nirgalita
essence, tatparyam madri. It is the import that we idu vandu bhajate iti, that a vandu sandhila poirukku. Galatina, usually something that flows. So the import that flows out of this sentence is this.
Ayam hi vishayah jadeshu tiryakshu chetaneshu api pratyaksham drishyate. This subject is seen in the non-living things, tiryakshu in animals, in the chetaneshu, in the conscious ones, the living
anything which has a conscience.
The living beings.
Jada vastu is something that does not have a conscience. So achetana vastu, consciousness. Tiryak is that which walks horizontally. So animals which walk on all fours.
The tiryat shabdam.
Tiryanch is the pratipadikam. So tiryak, tiryanchau, tiryanchaha. Tiryancham, tiryanchau, tiryachaha varunnanikam. So tiryakshu.
यथा पुष्पमाला अनुषंगेन सूत्रं शिरसि धार्यते इति अश्मापि याति देवत्वं महद्भिः सुप्रतिष्ठितः इति वा पूर्वोक्तस्य पूर्णांशः.
Purvoktasya iti chet, and the title, the second part of the title is either, there are two versions is what he says. One is Pushpamala Anusangena Sutram Shirasi Dharyate, and the பூவோடு சேர்ந்து நாரும் மணக்கும்ங்கிறது நமக்கு வேற. இங்க என்ன போட்டிருக்குன்னா Pushpamala Anushangena, because of the connection with a pushpa, garland.
Like
So
how a thread with the association of the garland of flowers is worn on the head, even a stone goes to become Bhagavan.
tell me word by word, because
Ha,
I need to know whether you have understood that particular word's meaning.
ha. Pushpamala Anushangena Sutram Shirasi Dharyateti. So, with the association of the garland of flowers, the thread Shirasi is worn on the head.
Dharyate, it is placed or it is borne on the head.
Ashmapi Yati Devatvam Mahatpihi Supratishthitah. Ashmapi, so even a stone, Devatvam Yati, goes about being a Devam.
Attains a divinity. So
Attains.
Devatvam angarche, it is the Devasya Bhavaha Devatvam. See, Taparyam is very easy to get from a, because if you understand Sanskritam, then it is easy to get the import of it. But அந்த வேர்டோட வியுத்பத்தி படி உனக்கு வந்து புரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும் இல்லையா, அதுக்கு சொல்றேன்.
Mahatpihi Supratishthitah, established by the great sages or rishis.
Great people. So இந்த இடத்துல சுப்ரதிஷ்டிதஹானா when a stone which is been mantrapurvakam tatra pratishtha kriyate yadi mandire athava yatra kutrapi va grihe api bhavatu, then even a stone can attain that divinity.
Prana pratishtha.
Yeah.
Iva Puranamshaha is the above mentioned meaning.
Puranamshaha is the completion portion of the earlier line. So this is the first part of the shloka. The second part of the shloka would be this or this. Puranam na completing. The second part of it is this.
Tathahi Karpasastantuhu Swayam Priyadarshano na bhavati atastam na kapi kanthe shirasi va dharayati. So Karpasastantu Swayam Priyadarshana na bhavati. So in the same way, the cotton thread is not pleasant to look at. So no one wears it in their necks or in their heads.
So ataha tam would be
the tantu.
Karpasa tantum. Kopi kanthe shirasi va na dharayati. Tathahi ngarche as a way of explanation for the earlier line.
Kintu sa eva tantuhu pushpanam mala grathanakaranam bhutva. But the same thread is used to string the garland of flowers. Tesham sambandhena swayamapi taihi saha kante. By their association is worn along with those in the neck, shirasi on the head, hastayorva thriyate, worn on the hands, tata hridaya harishu, in the same way in the heart charming.
இங்க இருந்து வரணும். So hridaya harishu kamini jana chikureshu,
idella adjective to the devata.
These two are together. Devata vigraheshu is next one. And the hair of women, chikuram nale, it's the kundalungrolya adu. The hair or braids of women, which is hridaya hari, which attracts the mind. Devata vigraheshu cha alankriyate. Edu satantuhu. Eva tantuhu, when it is being pushpana mala gratana karanam kritva, after having done that, and the garland kattradu irukku, having been tied with flowers, tesham sambandhena, because of the association with the flowers, it swayamapi taihi saha, along with the flowers, pushpaihi saha, kante shirasi hastayoho dhriyate. This goes for just to wear it. The next is alankaranam. This is just to have it தலையில வெச்சுக்கிறது or கழுத்துல போட்டுக்கிறது, that's all. or கையில இப்படி சுத்தி வெச்சுக்கிறது, அந்த மாதிரி. Whereas alankaranarthamapi upayujyate iti. So hridayaharishu kamini jana chikureshu kesheshu devata vigraheshu mandireshu api devata alaye devalayeshu vigraheshu, for as an alankaranam or a decoration vastu for the devata also. Sah tantuhu alankriyate. The thread is being used as a decorative item.
किं बहुना वासुदेवभूषिता वनमाला अपि सूत्रसम्बन्धेन प्राधान्यम् उपगता. Even the Vanamala adorned by Vasudeva, um, because of the association of the sutram of the thread, has attained greatness.
Kim bahunangarche, what to say further?
Okay.
இது ஆப்போசிட்டா போட்டார் பார்த்தியா சோ புஷ்பாணாம் சம்பந்தேனைவ தத்ர சூத்திரம் தாரியते इति किन्तु सूत्र संबंधेनैव वनमाला प्राधान्यम् उपगता इत्युक्तम् रिवर्सा போட்டார் இந்த இடத்துல
But still he is saying that the sutram attains greatness.
ஆமா
Because
otherwise the vanamala would not be a mala without the sutram.
Right.
Because it is Vasudeva Bhushita, Akila. That is because because Vasudeva is the great thing with which it's associated, right? Tasmat sutram sutrasya pradhanyam iti, Kila.
सूत्रस्यपि प्राधान्यम् इति न उक्तम् अत्र तु वनमाला एव प्राधान्यम् उपगता इत्युक्तम् वासुदेवस्य भूषणत्वेन वनमाला उपयुज्यते तत्र वनमाला इति संज्ञा एव तत्र सूत्रसम्बन्धेनैव वर्तते तत्र
Satyam.
I think that is what he is trying to say. Because of the sutra, it gains the nomenclature of samjna of vanamala and Vasudeva Bhushita. It becomes it has attained a greatness because it also decorates Vasudeva. So
but the greatness is because of Vasudeva, right?
Amama.
Okay.
Ama, definitely. Vasudeva Bhushanadeva tatra pradhanyam vartate vanamal. So sutra sambandhena na by association எடுத்துக்கிறோம் இது எப்படி சொல்றோம் ஒரு connector மாதிரி by connection with the sutram the vanamala being decorating Vasudeva it gains an importance because it is decorating Vasudeva அப்படி
I mean, it's a bit convoluted. He could have just said Sutrasya Pradhanyam. Vanamala okay, fine.
I would have broken it into 2-3 sentences and in a way I would have said, like Sutra Sambandhadeva Tatra Vanamala iti Vanamala Grathita Sa Vanamala Sutra Sambandhena Sutrena Saha Vasudevam Bhushayati iti Karanat Pradhanyam Upagata.
Evam.
Right?
Much better. एवं जडभूता शिलापि मन्त्रविद्भिः महात्मभिः शास्त्रविधिना प्रतिष्ठिता सति पूजनीयतां प्राप्नोति. Thus even a jada non-living stone with the shastra vidhi and the pratishtita kenna sonnal established
தான் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும்.
The mantras by the rishis becomes worthy of worshipping.
So mantra vidbihi mahatmabihi, that is an adjective to mahatma. So by mahatmas or great people who know about the mantram. Mantram vidanti iti mantravit. Mantravit இல்லையா? ஆமா. Mantravit. Consecration வந்து கும்பாபிஷேகம். அது அபிஷேகம் தான் கான்சிக்ரேஷன். பிரதிஷ்டா வந்து இட் இஸ் a டெக்னிக்கல் டேர்ம். பிராண பிரதிஷ்டா அதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னுலாம் தெரியல. நான் டிரான்ஸ்லேட்டபிள்ல போட வேண்டியதுதான் அது. I don't know what
imbued with prana or right. So this was like we do prana pratishtha means we're actually placing the life into that stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Life infusing ceremony.
Yeah, infusing life into that stone, infusing prana into that stone, right? And it's a mental act.
Yeah. So shastra vidhina pratishtita sati, this is in an adjective to the shila eva. So the stone which is being placed with according to the rules of shastra. Pujaniyatam prapnoti.
becomes worthy of worshipping.
Hmm.
तथा पूजकानां मनोरथम् अपि पूरयति स्वप्ने देवतारूपेण साक्षात् क्रियते. Okay, word by word. Tata pujakanam manoratham api purayati. In the same way, fulfills the desires of the devotees.
The worshippers actually. So it's okay. All the same.
Swapne devata rupena sakshat kriyate. In the dreams, manifests, the devata manifest.
So adavadhu the shila eva tatra devata rupena sakshat kriyate swapne. See, sometimes we are so because of the mantra purvaka pratishtha tatra yadi kriyate tarhi tatra devata swarupam vartate. It is called archavatara of the devata. So there are many different avatars of devatas. In this particular lingatliyo illa if it is a vigraham in a devalayam, you do prana pratishtha. That is called an archavatara. That becomes, that takes on a rupam of a devata in your mind also. Hence, even during dreams, you are able to sakshat kriyate, you are able to experience, perceive in that divine form, the form of the deity.
And sometimes appears as Bhagavan even when awake in the Jagrat state.
Jagrad avasthayam api Bhagavad rupena drishtete.
அது கோயில்ல போகும்போது ஜாகிரத் அந்த இது சொல்றாலோ the divine experiences he is talking about.
Divine experiences also. சும்மாவான முழிச்சுன்னு இருக்கறச்சே you can also see that, no? There are people who have that experience, not necessarily in the temple. Wherever they are, it doesn't depend on the surroundings. Sometimes it does. It can magnify the experience, but it's more to do with the antaf pakvam that they have of the manas.
அந்த நாகேஷ் ஒரு படத்துல சொல்ற மாதிரி நமக்கு இல்ல
சொக்கா நமக்கு இல்லதான்.
But in this sentence he uses active voice for the first part, purayati. He switches to passive, so konja, you know, there's a little bit of
yeah. Okay, so tatha maatiruvom avladhaan. Tatha pujakanam manorath. So jadabhuta shila api inge modalla full stop e varakudadu. Illana I have to change it, or tatha pujakanam manoratham api purayati. Ena ellame it has to continue like that. Swapne devata rupena
shila eva purayati kila manoratham.
Shila purayati. Shila sakshat kriyate. Correct.
Shila sakshat kriyate eppadi varum? Shila
janaihi swapne devata rupena shila eva sakshat kriyate.
80 formula.
Correct da.
Purayati sakshat kriyate.
Na kartrupadam anga prathama vibhakti endha padam. It's always shila eva.
That is true, but and the switch பண்ணால கொஞ்சம் அப்படியே okay fine.
Correct da.
கதாச்சித் ஜாகிரதஸ்தாமே பவதுருவேன
இங்க ஷிலா இல்லாததுனால you put the before this மனோரதம் அபி இங்க ஷிலா பூரயதி அப்படி போடலாம்.
தேவதா so then if I want to put the whole thing in active, I would say shila manoratham purayati, shila swapne devata rupam sakshat karoti, jagrata avasthayam api bhagavad rupam drishyate.
No.
La katham sakshat karoti. That how can that do? No.
So, okay, hold on. So first one tatha pujakanam manoratham api shila purayati. That is clear, yeah?
That's right.
janaihi swapne shila eva devata rupena sakshat kriyate.
But if you want to put that in active, how would you do it?
janaha shilam devata rupena sakshat kurvanti.
So then the karta has changed now.
Yes, karta has changed.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That is the confusing thing.
Okay, then you can just put it as tatha. Put it in a separate sentence.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Saiva swapne devata rupena sakshat kriyate kadachit jagrad avasthayam api bhagavad rupena drishyate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. சைவங்கிறது சா ஷிலா ஏவன் ஒன்னா போட்டு விடுறேன். Then we can connect it. Okay.
शिलायां सन्निहितोऽयम् अलौकिकसामान्यो महिमा मन्त्रवित् प्रतिष्ठितभगवत्संसर्गेण एव सञ्जात इति निश्चप्रचम्. It is certain that this divine greatness that is enshrined in the stone or the rock was produced by the association or the sangam of the divine established தான் திருப்பி சொல்ல முடியும் by the
ஆமாமா
power power
okay இல்ல so shilayam sannihitaha ayam mahima, the greatness that is present in the shila, alaukika samanyaha, it is completely beyond the world, out of the ordinary, divine எடுத்துக்கலாம், but laukika is something that we know which is of this world, something that is not of this world. So alaukika samanyaha, it is not common to the people of this world, so which means it is divine. Mantravit pratisthita bhagavat samsargenaiva sanjataha, it is possible only by the association of Bhagavan, that is the God who has been infused here. அது நல்லா இருக்கு, என்னமோ அந்த அரோமா இன்ஃபியூஷன் மாதிரி இருக்கு. பிரதிஷ்டித் infused here or put in, இல்லையா, by mantravit, by people who know mantras. iti nischyapracham, nischyaprachamங்கிறது இட்ஸ் an அவ்யயா, நிச்சயேன நிச்சிதம் ச பிரச்சிதம் ச, so something that is definite,
certain,
definitely understood அப்படினு.
प्रचितं नाम तत्र ची धातु, like selected इति वा?
Selected,
definitely selected, निश्चप्रचम्. okay.
தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டது. okay.
oh நிஷ்சிப்ரஜம், it means தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டதுவா?
அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு டிசைடடா தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டு கன்க்ளூசிவா சொல்லப்பட்டது. இவ்வளவு தூரம் அங்க வருது. நிஷ்டிதம்னா கன்க்ளூசிவ்லி செட்னு அர்த்தம். நிஷ்டிதம் டிசைடட். பிரச்சமங்கிறச்சு தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டது தான் பிரச்சிதம். So something that has been decided upon after careful consideration.
Very nice.
ஜபாகுசும
जपाकुसुम सान्निध्येन स्फटिकमणिः पद्मरागतां भजते. Okay, I did not understand this line, but the association of hibiscus,
the spatikam crystal,
Spatikamani
becomes a ruby. Padmaragaha is a ruby, so Padmaragatam bhajate, it seems like a ruby. So you have a spatikam. Beside that, if you, it's a very famous example for adhyasa in Advaita Vedanta. So Atma is completely pure, but because of the association of this deham, pranan, manas, indriyas, etc., we think that the Atma has kartrutvam, whereas it is the kartrutvam or the doer is only the body and its associated things. Because of the close presence, we attribute the qualities of a jada vastu onto the chaitanya vastu. Idhukku example kudukarche, we say that there is a spatikam which is very clear and it has no color at all. The moment you bring a lovely hibiscus near it, that spatikam starts looking like a red stone, which is a padmaraga or a ruby. In the same way here also, let's take a spatikam or something as a shila. Immediately when mantravit comes and puts in that prana pratishtha inside that stone, now that stone completely transforms into a divine devata. So japa kusuma sannidhyena, sannidhihi is nearness, sannidhyam is the nearness. So japa kusuma sannidhyena, because of the nearness of a hibiscus, Spatikamanihi, even a crystal, Padmaragatam bhajate, it becomes, it gains the quality of being a ruby.
Got it. Okay.
This whole paragraph, when he talks about the Shila and then the mantra with and all that, it reminds me of a Shiva Puja where you have a Shila and then you're doing puja to it, and then here you have Spatika Lingam. You have a Spatika Lingam and you're doing puja to it, right? So it's kind of like brings that to mind, this whole paragraph.
Yeah. So true. சிவனும் வந்து he is சுத்த ஸ்படிக சங்காசம். அவருடைய
Satyam, yeah.
தியான ஸ்லோகத்துல அதான் வரும்.
Spatika Sankasham Trinetram Panchavaktakam.
So the whole paragraph was first to explain this. Pushpamalanushangena sutram sirasi dharyate. The next section fully about the ashmapi yati devatvam mahatbhis supratishthitaha. Okay.
अत्र एवम् अवधेयम्. It should be noted here that गुणवतः संसर्गेण यथा अल्पस्य महत्वम् एवं दोषक्तः संसर्गेण महतः अल्पत्वम् अपि संक्रामति.
दोषवतः संसर्गेण महतः अल्पत्वम् अपि संक्रामति. The reverse can also happen.
Like how by the association of the virtuous, the small ones get greatness, the same way by the association of the faulty then
doshavatah, correct, faulty, one who has faults,
the great also get alpatvam, the small.
So alpatvam sankramati, it transfers to the great person also. Sankramanamna இந்த இது சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, என்ன மேஷ சங்கிரமணம், ரிஷப சங்கிரமணம்னுட்டு ரவி சங்கிரமணம்ங்கிறோம். சங்கராந்தி அதானே, மூவிங், traveling from one place to another.
So here the Sankramati nama Alpatvam is the Kartruvachaka padam.
Yes.
Alpatvam Sankramati. Right?
Yes. Mahataha Sankramati. So Mahataha here would be in Shashti Vibhakti.
Mahataha. That is to say, like for the great people, smallness actually crosses over. Smallness
enters into them.
Enters.
அதுக்கும் ஏதாவது எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்ல போறாரா?
ஆமாம்.
ஏவ சம்சர்கஜா தோஷகுணா பவந்தி இதி விருத்தாः ஆமனந்தி. That's why the old call it, by association bad habits occur.
Samsargajaha dosha guna bhavanti. Both doshaha gunaha cha samsargajaha bhavanti. Both fault and gunas and good qualities are born out of samsarga, out of association.
That the sandhi is hidden, right? Samsargajaha, dosha gunaha. So then that's when you get bhavanti. Otherwise, it's difficult. Yeah.
तथा हि जगत्त्रय पवित्रीकरण पटुः पावकः लोह संसर्गं प्राप्य मुद्गरैः हन्यते. Like the fire which is capable of Jagatraya Pavitrikarana Patuhu Pavakaha, the fire which is capable of purifying the three worlds, Loha Samsargam Prapya, having attained the association of iron, Loham, gets Mudkaraihi Hanyate, gets killed by the
hit.
Okay.
Hantina.
Talking about the shape here means it gets the desired shape when beaten by the hammers. Is that what?
Mutkara is more like அந்த என்ன mallet என்ன அந்த மாதிரி ஒன்னு இருக்கும்.
Blacksmith's hammer. Sorry, not blacksmith's hammer. He's using it because he says fire is a very thing that makes things very pure. However, because it is in touch with a dead thing like loha, which is very niche, it gets hit. The fire is getting hit by hammer's power.
The fire is actually only association there. It is not a real fire there. Yeah. The moment you put the iron inside, actually adla vandu agni samsargadeva ayogolake idun solromla tarkathula adu enna, otherwise the iron does not get heat. Heat is not a natural quality of the iron. It is only transferred from the agni.
Yeah. But here the mahat vastu is the agni and the alpa vastu is the loha. Now samsargena idanim alpatvam prapnoti tasmat hanyate. Adi vaangudhu.
அவருடைய புத்தியே பயங்கர கிரியேட்டிவா இருக்கு.
Then if it is like this, why would the great ones want to have any association with the great ones?
It's not about their wants or not. It's about what happens sometimes without realizing.
Then they will avoid the less great ones.
Yes, they will. I mean, but சில சமயம் வந்து you can't avoid at all இது இல்ல. என்ன பண்றது?
रविकिरण संयोग जन्य संताप शमन दक्ष चंदन तरुहु
दक्षः चंदन तरुहु
दक्ष चंदन तरुहु so that sandalwood tree which is capable of relieving the tapam caused by the heat of the sun's rays यद्यपि आतप संतप्ता न आकर्षति although it does not attract the tapam of the sun's rays atapi dussaha vishapurita bhujangena परिवेष्टितः रसनावता पश्यति अथवा भुजंगेन परिवेष्टितः दूरातेव परिलभ्यते
यद्यपि இது ஆதப சந்தப்தான் ந ஆகர்ஷதின்னு இருக்கணும். இல்ல ஆதப சந்தப்தான் ஆகர்ஷதின்னு இருக்குமோ?
आतप संतप
द्वितीया basically. So taruhu na akarshati. Kim na akarshati?
Those people who are suffering from the heat.
So you're saying okay.
No, I think it should be that they, even though they are attract.
Not
சந்தப்தான் ஆகர்ஷதி தான் இருக்கணும்.
But there should be dvitiya there basically.
Yes.
So no dvitiya.
இப்படி.
அப்படி. Okay, yeah.
அதுக்கு பதிலா இப்படி போடுறேன்.
அது ஓகே. ஆனா முன்னாடி before you made the correction.
Yeah.
That is because of the ngamuda gamaha. No, it cannot be because it's dirgha is there.
Yes, அது வராது. Okay, so this has to be like this. Yadyapi chandana taruhu, chandana, a sandalwood tree, even though it is capable of removing shamanam, it is capable of controlling the santapa, the heat, which is janya, which comes out of samyoga with the association with ravi kirana, with the sun's rays. Even then, yadyapi saha chandana taruhu atapa santaptan akarshati. See, people see a sandalwood tree and they understand that sandalwood is very cooling for the body. And it is also a huge tree. So naturally, people who are suffering from the sun's heat are attracted towards the tree and want to come there. But the flip side of it is, athapi dussaha visha purita rasana vata bhujangena. Rasana asya asti iti rasanavan bhujangaha. A snake, snakes are attracted towards the chandana tree, the sandalwood tree. So usually near a sandalwood tree there are a lot of snakes. This is how kavisamaye uktam evameva. Adavadhu jasmine, wherever there is strong smell, apparently the snakes are attracted towards that strong smell. Even in villages எங்களுக்குலாம் சொல்லுவா, மல்லி வந்து ஆத்துல வைக்க மாட்டா, வாசல்ல வைப்பா. They usually பின்னாடி இருந்ததுன்னா, even in the backyard, if there is a jasmine nobody will go there during night. They only go during the morning time when they can see whether there is a snake or not. Even during the early mornings they never go near a jasmine plant, because they think that there is always some, and the darkness and the coolness attracts the snake and it goes and surrounds itself around the tree. So bhujangena pariveshtitaha chandana taruhu. The tree is encircled by a snake which has a tongue, rasanavata, that is filled with visham, poison, which is difficult to tolerate. Intolerable poison irukku. அதனால தூராதேவ பரிஹீயதே, the tree is being avoided from a distance. சரியா?
अयं हि दुष्ट संसर्ग परिणाम इति अनुक्तम अपि ज्ञायते. This is also known to be the result of bad association.
Now, without even saying apdi, and the api goes with this anuktamapi nyayate. Even though we don't need to spell it out, still we understand that dushta samsarga parinamaha ayameva, because dushtaha atra bhujangaha tasya samsargena chandana taroho gunaha vartante api janaha tatra samipam na gacchanti.
We'll avoid it. Okay.
Mm.
किंच सुकविकर कमल संलग्न लेखनी संसर्गम प्राप्य मशी रामकथा निर्माण पुण्यकार्यं तनोति.
Huh.
So
He keeps going back and forth. Now he
हाँ,
goes to uttama samsargena katham nichaha api
great.
mahatvam prapnuvanti.
हाँ. So सुकविकर कमल संलग्न, having attained the association of the
Lekhani.
Lekhani, Sukavikara Kamala Samlagna, like the lotus like hand of the good poet.
Yeah, முதல்ல வந்து லேखனி இருந்து தான் அங்க போக முடியும் இல்லையா? தமிழ்ல சொல்றச்சே கவியினுடைய கைங்கிற ஒரு தாமரை அதில் இப்ப சேர்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய இது எழுத்தாணி பேனா அதனுடைய சம்சர்க்கத்தை அடைந்த மஷி அப்படி போலாம். இங்கிலீஷ்ல வரைச்சே
லேக்கனி இல்ல, I thought அந்த மஷிக்கு தானே அந்த கிரேட்னஸ் போறது இல்லையா?
ஆமா, மஷி வந்து because it is associated with the pen that is being held in the hand of a kavi.
Oh, okay, okay.
Samsargam prapya mashi punyakaryam tanoti. The ink does a sacred work of writing, of creating Ramakatha.
Gets the sacred task of creating the story of Rama.
You will all go and look at beautiful pens, but nobody will want to touch an ink and see whether it is lovely or not, because it dirties the hand and then namakku. So mashi is treated as an alpa vastu, whereas a lekhani or sukavi karakamalam is also treated as a better idu.
Sukavi, and because in the adutha line he says kukavi illaya, so I thought
yeah.
Saeva kukavi kara sambandha papakatham nibathnati. The same mashi or the dye,
ink, dye.
Used in papa katana, sinful stories, when in association with the bad poet. Apicha
sambandha. Okay.
Apicha bhagavat guna shravana pravanasya bhaktajanasya sangatim prapya कीरशेखरः रामनाम उच्चारणेन सुखयति अन्तिकस्थं जनम्. So okay, Bhagavat Guna Shravana Pravanasya Bhakta Janasya Sangatim Prapya, having attained the association of the devotees who are involved in the Shravanam, the listening of the Bhagavad Katha.
Pravana is involved, devoted to listening to Bhagavad Gunam.
Kirashekara, Kira is the parrot.
ஆமா, அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தர் இருக்காரா?
Kirashekara would be the person carrying on. Kirashekara.
I don't know who's this.
For a second I thought Kira was Hindu and this meant Lord Shiva, because he is also chanting the Ramanama. Vashipuri eva is a nama japam.
Okay. Kirashekaraha.
அதுதான் ஒரு ஆழ்வார் மாதிரிலாம் இல்லையா?
Kulashekara ஆழ்வார்.
Kulashekara ஆழ்வார் தான் இருக்கார்.
Is there? Kirashekara is also there.
Kulashekara ஆழ்வார் is also a devotee of Rama, I think.
Yeah.
கீரசேகரஹங்கிறது கீரங்கிறது பேரட் இல்லையா? கிளி. கிளிகளில் வசத்தியா இருக்கக்கூடியது யாரோ.
Is it Shuka?
சுகர். சுகரா இருக்கு. கரெக்ட். ஆனா ராமநாம உச்சாரணத்துல இல்ல அவர். he is கிருஷ்ண கதா தான் அவர். வால்மீகிக்கு எப்படி கீரசேகரன்னு வரும்? அப்போ கோகிலன்னு சொன்னாலாவது வால்மீகி கோகிலம்னு இருக்கிறதுனால சொல்லலாம். So someone who is a great poet அப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம். இல்ல அவருக்கு ஏதாவது கீரன் மாதிரி நக்கீரன் மாதிரி ஏதாவது சொல்றாரான்னு தெரியல எனக்கு.
Valmiki is a good one.
Valmiki is a good one. சொல்லிக்கலாம்.
Yeah, Kavi Kokila, right? So I think that makes sense.
Kokila is more
sweet.
That's not Kili.
கிளி வந்து சரியா வரலையே.
அடுத்த லைன்ல he says தயேவ சுகஹன்னு சொல்றாரு. So
சுகஹன்னா அப்ப ராமநாமா எப்படி இருக்க முடியும் தெரியலையே. இல்ல,
there is one Krishna.
No, you can take this as in general a parrot which is in the house, இப்போ கம்பன் வீட்டு கட்டுத்திரையும் கவி பாடும்ங்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி.
Correct.
So a parrot which is present, a parrot which is capable of speaking, if it is got the association of a devotee, or it is present, or it is being reared in the house of a devotee who is constantly listening to Bhagavad Guna Katha, then Ramanama Ucharanena Sukhayati Antikastham Janam. It will keep on saying Ramanama and it will produce happiness to the person who is nearby. Antikastham. Antikaha Samipam. Samipastham Janam Sukhayati. அப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம்.
Shukala, like, so Kirashekara is just basically a king parrot. Or
a great parrot.
Great parrot. It's being reared by a bhakta.
Bhakta. Ade Durjana Paripalitaha Sayeva Shukaha. If it is being reared by a bad person, Duralapaihi Santapayati. It causes grief because of bad words.
I think there is a story like this in the
இல்ல டின்டின்ல வந்து அந்த கேப்டனோட ஒரு பேரட் ஒன்னு இருக்கும்.
ஆமா ஆமா, அது வந்து துர்ஜன பரிபா
example.
About Kirashekara, that means you have to go to Mandana Mishra story. When Shankara goes to his home, he hears the Vedas from the parrot.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is also in the Sura Saraswati Sabha, there is one story like that.
Avdiya, okay.
Same story comes there.
Okay. ஜன்னி ஏதாவது சொல்ல வந்த?
Oh, sorry. அதான் like தமிழ் டிக்ஷனரியில பார்க்கும்போது கீரை is also mentioned as parrot, but also a corrupted form of ksheera. அதேதான் வருமா?
இல்ல, அது வராது. சம்ஸ்கிருதத்துல வராது. See, தமிழ்ல என்ன ஆகும்னா, நம்ம சம்ஸ்கிருத சொல்ல அங்க மாத்தும் பொழுது வரக்கூடிய வார்த்தை. So அதனால it is a corrupted version சொல்லும் பொழுது it is an adopted version. I would rather take it as an adopted version. நிறைய words from Sanskritam, when it is adopted into Tamil, they அது ஒரு மிருதுவாக்கிடுவா, அந்த சம்யுக்த அக்ஷரங்கள் இல்லாம பண்ணுவா. அந்த மாதிரி வந்திருக்கிறது.
ஏன்னா நக்கீரன் கூட அந்த எட்டிமாலஜி பார்த்தாக்கா அது மாதிரி நன்னா பேசுறவருங்கிற மாதிரிதான் அதோ, ஏன்னா இட் இஸ் அசோசியேட்டட் வித் வாக்கு தான். எனக்கு அதுவும் அது மாதிரிதான் அதோ வேக மெமரியா இருக்கு. அதுதான் இதா இருக்கும்.
இங்க I think it is just parrot.
So the next sentence is clearly making it clear that it's a shukaha. Therefore, parrot of the sentence.
Kirashekara அப்போ யார் அப்போ like அவர்
Shekhara always means sreshtaha. When we say Stri Ratnam அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ரத்னம் இது ஸ்ரேஷ்டவாச்சி பதம். When we say Stri Ratnam, அது is it a person who is Stri Ratna? No, அப்படி இல்ல. A woman who is the best among the jewel among all women அப்படிங்கறச்சே Stri Ratnam. The same way here also, the one who occupies the pinnacle position among all parrots. Shekharana தலை சிறந்த ஒரு இது கிளி அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கிறோம். ரைட்டா?
அந்த டின்டின் வந்து I think it is, if anyone is interested, I think it is a broken
nice example.
அது வந்து ஏதோ sailors ஓடலாம் அசோசியேட் பண்ற ஃபவுல் லாங்குவேஜா பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். அது
billions of blue string barnacles அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம்.
ஆமா, more clear.
கடைசில தான் it will tell the killer's name, I think.
ஆமா. It features in most of the wherever the captain comes, he comes. சரி.
नलिनीदल संस्थितः जललवः मुक्ता मणिश्रियं दधाति. The water droplet, when it falls on
when it is present, samsthitah.
When it is present on a lotus petal, it takes the form of a pearl.
Dala இங்க வந்து lotus leaf, because usually it அந்த தாமரை இலை மேல இருக்கக்கூடிய நீர்த்தி விலை தான் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? So it will keep on moving like a pearl, so it looks like a pearl. So it has the beauty of a muktamani, shriyam dadhati.
स एव मृदिशिलायां वा पतितः नामरूपे जहाति. So the same droplet, when it falls on a stone, loses its form, shape.
When it falls on mridi, on mud or on a stone, it loses its name and form. Nama Rupe Jahati. Jahati, it lets go of it. அது இருக்கிற இடமே தெரியலங்கிறோம் இல்லையா, ஒரு பேர் கூட தெரியல அந்த மாதிரி.
अत्र विषये विचारणीया अन्येपि विशेषा विद्यन्ते. There are other facts to consider here in this subject. Okay. यथा लोके क्षामसूचको मूषकः धान्यादिभक्षणेन पटादिखण्डनेन च गृहस्थान् क्लेशयति. Okay. Like in the world, the mouse which indicates
poverty. Kshamangiradhu vandu is like leanness. Kshama is actually leanness. This is more with respect to wealth. Yeah.
So it's not famine?
Famine is not kshama. Kshama na krisha. Oru gunam adu. Yeah. So kshamam suchayati. So it indicates weakness or indicates being emaciated la adu.
Indicates poverty because I guess it indicates
poverty.
Because why does it indicate poverty? I guess because in a rich man's home
there is too much for a mouse to destroy.
Rodents would be eradicated first, probably.
Immediately, servants would be appointed for particularly eradication of that.
So only in a poor man's home the mouse survives, and therefore it's an indicator of the poor man's poverty.
Yes.
Kramasuchakaha iti.
By
poorest church mice valla iva kuda idiomatic.
But I think dhatu is ksham only, like from which we get
kshamyati.
Kshamyati, okay, ksham to tolerate. Yeah, ksham.
Kshay illa.
Kshay, kshay, okay.
Kshayati, kshinoti, yeah.
Pakra or ksham.
I think kshay da nanikaren. Kshay kshaye.
Kshay kshaye evam. Nishta pratyak ta. Oh my God. Kshay plus ta is kshama. Oh my God. Okay. That's amazing. Like sometimes the nishta takes strange forms, like anna and like here and shushka. So kshama. That's amazing.
Okay. So kshama suchakaha mushakaha enna mandrathu?
By eating the grains and by tearing the clothes and other things, it makes the householders suffer.
Kleshayati. It causes suffering for the householders.
But that mouse will be very rich looking. It will be plump.
Nalla. Abra.
Athapi.
Thank you very much for the
Jerry's cousin or episode varum. Jerry's cousin or episode Tom and Jerry cousin will come
from the city. Okay. Mela. Swati.
Athapi tesham prabhor bhagavato ganadhipasya karunaloho vignahi bheda kushalasya vahanam bhutva janaihi aradhyate. Okay. Then also they are made the vahanam of their Lord, who is the compassionate one. Avarku adjectives podra. The one
Mushakaha aradhyate. So first other fix panniko. So the same rat or other rat in solamata. Enna solva rodent ennadu. அவருக்கு மூஷகவா mouse ne போட்டுக்கலாமா? சரி. So the same mouse is being worshipped by people, having been made into a vahanam for iva. Idella adjective for Ganadhipa, Ganesha.
Who is the compassionate one, the one who is the adhipati of the ganas, the remover of obstacles. And
Bhagavataha Ganadhipasya, who is the adhipa for the ganas. Apro tesham prabhoho ityukte mushakanam prabhoho. Oh no, grihasthanam prabhoho. அப்படி எடுத்துக்கலாம். Yeah. So grihasthanam prabhoho, the lord of all the householders, Bhagavataha Ganadhipasya, and Ganesha, who is the lord of all the ganas, bhuta ganas, karunaloho, dayalu madri karunalu, one who possesses compassionate, so he is the compassionate one. Vighna adri bheda kushalaha saha. Ganapati is expert in bheda, in destroying obstacles which are like mountains. Tasya vahanam bhutva, having become his vahanam, become the Lord's vahanam, janaihi aradhyate, the mouse is being worshipped by people.
The word atha here, like it's not using the same meaning as atha shabdanushasnam. It's not like that. Atha means
Anantar.
however. But and the madringa parantu, right?
Parantu.
Then also.
Then also.
Then also. So even then. So that's that even is api, but the word atha in isolation here seems to mean but
Yet.
or but, yeah, tatha. So usually atha shabdanushasana is how I remember it, but this this gives me a different.
Adla arambarthaha, anantaryarthaha, vikalparthaha ella undu.
According to context change.
இப்ப சரள வியாக்கரணத்துல we are reading that section. So அவ்யயானாம் நானார்த்தே அதுல அதாக்கு விகல்பார்த்தமும் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
இங்க நீங்க சரள வியாக்கரணம் தமிழ்ல சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கீங்களா?
இது ரெண்டும் எல்லாம் உண்டு.
சொல்லலையே நீங்க.
இவர் வராரு, மௌலி சார்லாம் வராரு, எல்லாரும் வராரு.
எப்போ நடக்குது?
சாட்டர்டே மார்னிங் 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Pacific time, Saturday.
Could you post the link?
Sure. Shankri amchirunga.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Link amchirunga. Yeah. அவருக்கு
I am
amchidla.
Okay. अयञ्च बहुमानः महतो भूतस्य संसर्गसम्भूतो विशेष इति न अविदतम्. It is not known that this glory or greatness is a vishesha, it's a speciality that arises from the association, from the sangam of the great. Association of the great.
अयञ्च बहुमानः महतो भूतस्य संसर्गसम्भूतः विशेषः इति न அவிதத்தம் எப்படி வருது? அவிதத்தம்ங்கிறது இதுவா?
It is not known like
this greatness, bahumana, this respect, mahato bhutasya visheshaha iti na aviditam vanna irukkalam, viditam aviditam not unknown அப்படி வரணும். புரியுதா? அவிதத்தம் வர முடியாது. Text also shows that, which is surprising.
I thought நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியல, that
உங்களுக்கு தெரியாதுன்னு சொல்லல. இப்போ அவிதத்தம் is you two, it is not known to the two of you அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். It is lunglakara இல்லையா?
It is not unknown.
அப்போ அவிதிதம் தான் வரணும். இது ந அவிதிதம். It is not something that is not known. விதிதா தானே கரெக்ட், விததா இல்லையே.
किञ्च मारणास्त्रमिव जनैः भयविह्वलदृष्टिभिः सुदूरं परिहीयमाणः फणि जगत्पितुः शङ्करस्य भूषणतां प्राप्य the snake which is perceived as a deadly weapon and abandoned Bhaya Vihvala Drishtibihi, with frightened eyes, Suduram Parihiyamanaha Pani. So the snake that is avoided even from a large far off distance.
By people whose drishti, eyesight, are vihvalana, confused because of fear. Vihvalangarது is more like confused or enna pandradhunu theriyada irukku illaya, and that sort of a eyes, with those such eyesights by people, the snake is being parihiyamana, it is being avoided from a distance, as if it is an astram, it is a weapon, deadly weapon.
Jagatpituhu Shankarasya Bhushanatam Prapya has become the ornament of Lord Shiva, who is the universal father. And Janata Ghana Tapahara iti Mukta Kantham Stuyate. And praised as the remover of Janatapam,
Janata ghana tapa hara. Remover of the tapam, remover of the sufferings, which is very heavy. Ghanangarche ரொம்ப ஒரு டென்ஸா இருக்கக்கூடிய தாபம் ஆஃப் பீப்புள். ஜனதாங்கிறது வந்து ஜனதா இஸ் ஜன சமூக
crowd.
இது ஏதோ ஒரு இதுல இருந்து வரணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஜனதா விதிதா அகில சாஸ்திர சுதா ஜலதே அதுல இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அது
மைத்ரி பஜனையும் வரும்.
இல்ல இல்ல
தோட்டக்கால
தான் வருதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
தோட்டகாஷ்டகம் தான் விதிதா ஜன நீங்க சொன்னது.
ஜனதா கனதா இல்ல விதிதா அகில சாஸ்திர சுதா
that is தோட்டகா.
yeah அதுல வருதோன்னு நினைச்சேன். இட்ஸ் a very அந்த தோட்டகா மீட்டர்ல இருக்குது. சோ ஜனதா கனதாபஹரஹா இதி முக்தகண்டம் ஸ்தூயதே. he is being praised, the snake is being praised by முக்தகண்டம்னா அப்படியே தொண்டையை கிழிச்சுட்டு ஸ்தோத்திரம் பண்றான்னு அர்த்தம். without any என்ன சொல்றது, without chains, அப்படி open throatedா people openly they praise the snake when it has become an ornament on Shiva's form.
It's bhavata janata suhita bhavita
அதுல தான் நான் கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணேன்.
விசாரண சாருமதி
கலையேஸ்வர ஜீவ விவேக.
So here it is, you know what I took it as? Janata aghanata apahara.
அது எப்படி வரும்?
It's very complicated.
சிம்பிளா இருக்கு. ஜனதா கன தாப கனஹ தாபஹ கன தாபஹ जनतायाः घनतापः जनतायाः घनतापं हरति इति.
And the interesting thing is, of course, the snake is also on the kanta of Ishwar. Yani mukta kanta mesha stuyate.
சர்பா
ஒரு நிமிஷம், we'll stop with this, we'll finish. இந்த ஒரு லைனோட முடிச்சுக்கலாம்.
சர்பாஷனோ கருத்மானபி गोविन्दचरणारविन्द संसेवनेन अतिलोकमहिमानं प्राप्य जीवलोकेन संस्तूयते. Even Garuda, who feeds on snakes, attains glory by serving the lotus-like feet of Govinda and is praised by the people.
Sarpashanah Garutmanapi. Okay. Jivalokena Samstuyate. He is being praised by all of the people in the world, having obtained a Atiloka Mahimanam, a very divine, something beyond, greatness beyond the world. Because of what? Samsevanena, by serving the Charanaravinda, lotus feet of Govinda. அழகா இருக்கு. இவருக்கு வந்து கவித்துவம் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Who is this writer?
தர்மபுரி
Giri Sharma. Sahitya Shiromani. See, Sahitya Shiromani. That's why he is very poetic in his expression.